That's crazy. Usually they be having lights on and shit. And we go get the lights on and shit. Ah man, I had to rest. I was up, Bree. I'm just laying in the bed. I know I usually be up on live. I'm up for a few minutes. So I'm just saying hello. I've been sleeping majority of the day. I made my few videos earlier and I've been asleep. Live for 6 hours. That's crazy. Excuse me. Yeah, I've been in this bed majority of the day. I've been asleep. I made my few videos earlier. Knocked the hell out. I had 2 groups of friends that wanted me on their lives. You should do more lives. That's a great way. Yeah, if y'all need to do lives, do lives. If I look like I'm moving and floating, it's because I'm laying in the bed. What y'all up to though? It's super late. People can't sleep. I've been now. Yeah, congratulations. Yeah, I've been having to rest today. There's something about this energy. It's been having me tired. So I've been sleeping. It's been nice. Now I'm up for a little bit. I ain't gonna be on super long on this one. Probably go ahead to bed in a little while. What y'all up to, man? Y'all keeping it easy? Y'all doing all right? What's going on with y'all? I'm sitting in the dark like. I had taken a hiatus with sleepiness and personal stuff. I get it. Take a hiatus when you need to. If you gotta take a break, it's alright. Sometimes you just need some rest. It's vital for your existence. You gotta take a break. That's why I've been taking more breaks off of social media and just doing me in real life. I realize, yeah, you can get caught in the sauce of all these. So it's cool to take a break. I've been putting my phone down more, and it's been good. Getting away from some of this technology and stuff. Sometimes it's all right. Going outside in nature, going for more walks. It's helped a lot. You learn a lot about yourself, and then and putting in some new habits. Sometimes doing small things. My abilities are amplified. Oh, that's what's up. Keep on going. Congratulations. Everything worked fine. Oh, that's what's up. Keep on going. Congratulations. Everything worked like it's supposed to. So, you heard about time moving faster. Yeah, that's your Taurus field. So as your Taurus, what they call your Taurus or your toroidal field. Hold on, let me see if you're here. Oh, here we go. What they call your Taurus or toroidal field. Speaking of sleep, all right. Talk to you soon. Basically, when you slow down, let me put it like this. You know how you have fun, and then time just passes by. That's what it feels like for a lot of people right now. Time is just passing by, and then you're like, where is it going? So it's basically like you have this thing around you. Hold on, let me see if I got a photo. Here we go. Yeah, here we go. Time passes faster in one of these. So you see this right here? You see that circle in the middle? That's you. Here's another here. That's you. So as the Earth's torus field, which looks like that circle, you see that circle around, as that moves faster, your version of that starts to move faster too. So as that moves faster, like days, months will feel like days, years will feel like months pass by, and it becomes more pronounced. So you see that's your field around your body, and it starts from your heart and your pineal gland at the top and below your feet. So this is moving faster around Earth. So as this moves faster around you too. So as that moves faster too, hold on, right? That's your torus field. That's how that works. Stuff go in at the top and then stuff come out at the bottom. So what you take inside of your torus field, it moves in a spiral formation. So you see how it looks like a spiral? That's what happens to your insides. Your energy around you moves in that same formation. And so the middle piece, imagine that's Earth. The middle sacred geometry shape, that's a hexagon. So when you see that hexagon shape, hexagons produce energy. So as you see that move faster, that's what's happening to you too. Excuse me. So that's why time is moving by faster. As it gets faster and faster, you'll notice it's like when you get older, you be like, damn, all these years pass by that fast, right? That's how fast it go by. Especially like, you know how you have fun? When you having fun, you in your authentic energy. And when you move your authentic energy, your aura start to look like this. See that? Your aura start to move like this. That's your aura. Hold on. You see? I'm laying down, but that's your aura. Right now, your whole body is doing this right now. That's how your aura is looking around your body. And as you take in different things, it'll change to different colors. You know what I'm saying? It'll turn different colors. It'll move faster. You'll start to see some interesting stuff. You'll start to see stuff like, hold on, let me see. Yep, see? You'll start to see stuff. That's how your aura look. Like this. That's your aura. So when you in your authentic energy, it'll start moving like that. So I'm just laying down. So that's really how it go. I know I'm laying in the bed, so hold on, let me take my hat off. There we go. Now I look majestic. Giving lessons from the bed. Oh yeah, this is my favorite place in the world, because you can just put your covers on and be like, you know what? I'm tuned out. I'm in the covers now. This how y'all be looking, watching them TikTok videos at 4 in the morning, 4 a.m. Ooh. Oh, they making cookies? Ooh. Be sitting under your covers. What they, Dang, she got a fat booty. Hold on. Sugar? Y'all ladies too, y'all be scrolling. Damn, that's a handsome man. Everybody do that on this app at night. It be only at night that you be looking, and then all of a sudden they be like, yeah, we're making a seven course dinner, and you sitting in the bed like, ooh, I like that bookmark. Sitting under the covers like, ooh, I'm gonna get that. Or you be in the TikTok shop and they be selling you something you know you don't need. Yeah, we got elephant trunks. They're only $49.99. Temporarily, they $49.99. Oh man. What are y'all doing up so late? Do y'all not sleep? Y'all just up like, oh man. I don't think nobody really sleep. This for the insomnia people. Insomnia folks up late. Hold on. I'm gonna show y'all a photo since I'm already up. Alright, so I'll show you something. Okay, y'all ever seen this? You just took your phone out the shower? Nah, I'm laying in the bed, bro. This is a new type of live. This is called the bed live. So this is what you stay on, bro. So we in the middle, right here, where it says Jambudvipa. That's the known world. This is where you stay. And we stay in a layer of pancakes. So when I tell people we stay in a layer of pancakes, this is where we stay. Yep, the Atom calendar. That's what they call it. Farmer, the Orion calendar you were talking about. They also call it the Atom calendar. There's some more videos on that, but you see this right here where it says Shu Loka, earthly realm. That's where you stay. So this is the inside of you right now. So your energy is in layers, like a stack of pancakes. You're on all the layers right now, and you're learning that there's more layers above you and below you. So they say as above, so below. So when you see in the middle, that's all they want you to know, is that you've only been in the middle, but there's more levels. Okay, so when you look at the top, this is your levels of awareness that I was talking about. It's like an awareness level. So when you reach a certain level, you go up. You get what I'm saying? You do your inner work, your shadow work, your work inside of yourself, and then you start to develop more so you can see more. You're in every single layer, but the one you're currently aware of is where it says Shu Loka. If you wanted to live in an ocean of butter, you'll have diabetes. But when you look at this tree in the middle, they also call Mount Meru Yggdrasil. So Yggdrasil is like the giant world tree. So they have world trees around the world, but this is the giant world tree that connects the other places. So for a long time, they only wanted you to know, like in Thor, exactly. Thor, that big tree in Thor, it's the same thing right here. So what we see is like the cosmos is a part of you. So this whole circle, so this whole thing is you, and you're seeing different levels of yourself. You get what I'm saying? And as you become more aware, you can see more of these levels inside of yourself. And as you take time to be patient with yourself, love yourself, being in your authentic energy, you'll be able to become the observer, is what they call. The observer is when you move from the position of participant, like you playing in a role, to you are the author and the character inside of the book. You get what I'm saying? Now, right now, a lot of people are going through this right here, which is called 12-strand activation. So what you see, this is how your DNA looks. This is the illustration they show us for your DNA. So you see how there's a planet on the inside? That planet is this. This is inside of this planet right here. And that is inside of your DNA structure, right? Because if you're a part of Earth, then the Earth is a part of you, right? So those little lines you see in between those two helixes, Those are what hold the information of your higher selves, your knowledge of yourself, your dreams, your memories. You go inside of yourself, and that energy comes out. So basically, this is your the building blocks for your DNA, right? So it shows you right here the red strand DNA, and it shows you the green strand DNA. So the red strand is like the human. Think of it as like the molecular compound of your DNA. The green is similar to plants, right? Plants have almost the same composition as a human, right? So when you put them together, you get that middle one. You get what I'm saying? And you have it's more to it. I'm just trying to give you a basic level understanding. So this right here is what they call your junk DNA. So your junk DNA it don't look like this. It looks like this. So your junk DNA is actually cosmic dust. It's cosmic particles called dark matter. So dark matter sits in your DNA, right? Or DEA if you want to call it that. And this sits right here in order, and with this is your cosmic memory card basically. You see how it looks? That's how energetically, that's how your cosmic DNA look. And so the modification of people who got certain shots actually adds another helix. So you see how it's two helixes? If you got certain medicines, it'll add another helix to this. And it makes it harder for you. It makes it harder for you to connect to anything. Right? So if you see it, let me see, theotric etheric acid, exactly. Dark matter is linked to melanin, exactly. The melanin in your body, that's where that dark matter is activated from. So when you see this right here, this is what they call junk. This has actually been measured by, in America, they've only measured 5% of this. In Russia, they measured about 90% of this to show you that this strand of junk activates via light. So it activates via. So basically, whenever you go into the sun and you charge up your pineal gland and you go to sleep, your melanin activates depending on how much you charge in the sun. So when you go to sleep, the melanin in your body starts to activate while you sleep, and more of this starts to unlock. That's why people tell you to go out into the sun. This is why people tell you to go ground yourself, put your feet in the grass, because more of this inside of you becomes active. And when that becomes more active, you start to unlock light codes. So when people talk about light codes, as you can see in the picture, oh, gratitude for that. As you see more light codes, the light codes are already built inside of you right here. And you see where that little light is in the code? That one little piece can contain about like 1 petabyte of data. So what that means is one of those little squares is a petabyte. So if you have gigabytes, terabytes, and petabytes, like that's a lot of data just in that little square piece. That little square piece you see. So in other words, when you feel drained from the sun, in a sense, you're really charged. It's because, yes, it's charging your pineal gland to a certain degree. And when you go to sleep and the melanin activates in your body, it starts to go in these types of strands, right? And as that strand moves faster, so imagine this is twisting and it's moving in rotation. As that moves faster, you start to unlock what they call light codes. The light codes are built inside of you, and it's unlocking. So it starts looking. The light codes are built inside of you, and it's unlocking. So it starts looking like this. Was you see right there, right? You see how it's all cosmic dust looking? It starts unlocking stuff. So if you look at this electromagnetic field of your body right here, when you unlock more of those light codes, imagine adding another line to this torus field. And as you add more lines, it moves faster too. And as it moves faster, you see stuff you couldn't see before. That's called your auroric field. As it moves faster, you start to see the different layers of yourself. So this is where you stay, okay? As you move faster, you can observe other levels of yourself. So this, hold on, this right here, you see where the earth is right there? That's this right here. That's a portion of that is different light spectrums, exactly. So as you develop yourself and you start to tune into yourself, you move to other levels of yourself. This is what they call raising your vibration. When you raise your vibration, this field moves faster. This is one for Earth. You'll be able to see the stuff you couldn't see before because Earth has one of these as well. Everything that goes in, so like we're going to have a beautiful world, the golden age, right? Everything you put in at the top, it comes out at the bottom. This is where the as above, so below comes from. So let me show you this picture. This picture will. So when you see this photo, this is called the toroidal structure. So everything in the universe, everything around you is in circles like this. Some of the sacred geometry shapes in the middle may be different shapes, but the whole thing you see, it looks like a cell. So this is how your cells work too. Whatever you put into your cells, what you read, your environments, the people around you, your attitude, whatever you put in, it'll twist and spin and bend space and time out of your pineal gland and project the image of what you said, which is the output. That's why they tell you to watch out what you say for yourself. Watch what you say to yourself. Watch who you're around, because all of those are like energies you put in. And each one of you have a sacred geometry shape associated with your soul. So all of your souls have their own specific sacred geometry shape. So some of you might be a triangle. Some of you might be like a rectangle, a circle. Some of you might be a Merkaba. You have a Merkaba in you, but I'm just saying in terms of shapes. You get what I'm saying? You have an identity, just like Ted says, in every dimension, right? So I pinned his comment. Shout out to Tez. Y'all should go follow Tez. You have an identity in each dimension. So let me show you the dimensions. So what we mean by dimensions is like this. So you have an identity in each one of those. So in one of them, you might be a warrior. In another one of those, you might be a healer. In another one of those, you might be a scholar. And another one of those, you get what I'm saying? They're all versions of you, but you're tuning into the current version of yourself by what you take in. It means our ancestors had a better frequency, like the Lyrians in the cosmos. Yeah. So basically, right now, law of attraction, law of polarity, law of reverse, law of reversibility. Yep. So what we call laws are basically like how our universe presents itself. Your soul has no gender because it's not physical. Your energy is unlimited, basically. So when people talk about energy, right? Let me show you. Your actual energy is like this. This is how you really look on the cool. And if you didn't have a physical vessel, which you don't, this is really how your real body. Hey, Nisi. This is how your real body looks. So imagine that giant energy version is you too, but each one of these lines is a person. So imagine that person was Earth. You see that big energy being in the middle? That's Earth. And each one of you is one of the lines, right? So as the lines move faster around the Earth, since you're a part of the Earth, you're going to move faster too. So it'll help you unlock more of yourself. That's what's happening right now to all of us. We're going through upgrades. What we call upgrades is the waves are moving faster, because as a whole unit, we're deciding what kind of field we want. That's why they keep trying to push fear upon you. This disaster is happening because it changes the waves. So you remember how I showed you this other. So what we put in at the top as a unit, right? So we'll say love, compassion, enlightenment, peace, joy. If we put that in the top, that's how our world turns. If we put fear, sadness, pain, depression, anguish, anger, if you keep putting that, that's what you're going to get out too. The universe doesn't have any bias on what you're saying. It'll give you exactly what you want. So whatever you keep saying, well, how come there ain't no good men? Boom. How come there ain't no good women? That's what you getting, because that's what you keep putting in your bubble. So you have to be mindful of what you say. How the universe works through laws, they all coincide with each other. Yep, and just remember, you're an expression of the Most High experience in itself. So basically, let me expression. So if that's the Most High in the middle, you're one of the lines expressing itself in your version of consciousness. So when people tell you, I am you, you are me, this is what they mean. You're an expression. So how your expression was created is supposed to be expressed through how you express yourself. We're just all energy donuts. Shout out to Child of the Sun. I'm gonna pin them. We're energy donuts, basically. I can see everyone aura. The first level looks like how plastic looks on a couch. Exactly. That's exactly it. They play with our frequency through sound. That's why to heal your soul at a level, you listen to music. Certain musics, certain thoughts change that wave pattern. Facts. And your emotions, each one of these lines is your emotions too. So when you angry, your emotions stay in that middle. You see where that heart piece is? Your emotions will stay in there in a static current. So when you start to resolve and breathe and relax, and you're like, I'm tripping, let me calm down, it allows that line to move faster and to flow in its flow state like it's supposed to. So some of y'all really get what I'm saying. So right now we are experiencing in our unique way. Yeah, we're pretty much energy donuts. We're all the same consciousness. That's how we can get each other's thoughts. So you remember how I told you everybody has the same ideas? You see where the pineal gland is? You see that line that's going across the head? Think of thoughts as a train station that's moving by. So let's say you have, well, I want to create this thing. It's already a line in the universe, and it's coming to your receiver, which is your pineal gland is your receiver and your projector, like an antenna. So if you have an idea and you say, well, I'm not going to use it, that electric line will keep going regardless if you use it or not. And then it'll go to somebody else. So when that line gets to that being and they say, oh, I'm going to use it, it goes into their body and it becomes actualized if they use it. You get what I'm saying? They have these things called solfeggio frequencies that help in the process of tuning your frequency of your soul. Since your whole body is a radio wave too. It's a wavelength and a radio wave at the same time. And you tune into these different things with your pineal gland being like the tuner. You know how you turn on your radio and you turn the tuner? That's what you use to tune some of these waves, right? That's why you got to be careful what you taking in, because all this fear-based stuff, all the sad stuff, anger, anguish, pain, depression, this type of stuff will change that wave to make it slower. As the waves slow down, it makes you more solid. You're not a solid being. Nothing in the universe is solid. Everything is moving so fast that it compresses itself to make a solid. So all these lines, when they move fast enough, it'll become solidified. So if you, let's say you in sadness or pain, this wavelength around you will slow down drastically, and then it'll make your body more solid. But let's say you're in happiness, bliss, love, gratitude, it'll speed this up so you can come to this type of body, which is your crystalline light body. When you see this type of body, that's what gets you closer to like that Mr. Manhattan from The Watchmen. Music was changed from 453 to 423, 440 to 432. 432 to 440. And they changed those frequencies. So the spiritual world is first. Yo, Donut, hey, sugar mama. Thoughts become matter. So this is where people mean by like thoughts become matter. If you look at it, your thoughts, if you keep expressing a thought, even if it's subconsciously or consciously, it'll become solid. Heavy metal for anger, jazz for emotional moods, R&B for love. That's how you tune your soul, is through music. That's why they got the music industry and the comedy industry too. The comedy industry, when you laugh, laughing is a breathing technique that helps you relieve the static electrical current around your body. That's why whenever you laugh and watch something funny, it clears up that field too. That's why they got the comedy industry on lock. But you can't destroy any energy. Energy can't be created nor destroyed. So it always flows regardless. It just either becomes slow low frequency, or fast matter. Slow low matter or fast frequency. There we go. So when you tune into your own personal frequency, which is your authentic self, or you go to your childhood or your childhood state, it makes this field move faster. That's why they tell you to do inner work or shadow work. Because when you go to your childhood, at your childhood state, this field is moving at its fastest because it's not influenced by anything outside of you. Because you can just be free as a child, right? So as you get older, you have more responsibilities. You have these bills to worry about. That's why they keep your mind bogged down with a bunch of shit, so you don't notice this type of stuff and tap into yourself. So as you tap more into yourself, stuff will come faster to you. So think of it as like having an Amazon cart for the universe. When you're in your high, fast paced state, it's easy to get this. It comes faster to you, right? But when you're in a slow state, it takes a longer time for that line to go around you, for it to come to you. That's why some people say, how come my manifestations don't work? How come my affirmations don't work? It's because your emotional charge that you have, your feelings don't match what you're saying. You get what I'm saying? So when you match your emotional wavelength with it, it'll move this line around faster. So it'll come to you faster. Does that make sense? Start actually looking into the ingredients of food, facts. What you eat, what you take in, who you listen to. They do different things to your body. Everything you eat, it changes the wavelength. Everything you listen to, what you observe in your life, how you react to people, it'll make this move faster or slower, right? Electromagneticity is basically what you're made out of. You're electric and your magnetism. The magnetism is at the bottom, right? So you see at the bottom, you see the bottom of the donut? That's your magnetism. It's around your whole body, but it centralizes at the bottom. The top part of your body is the electric part. Your whole body is electric, but it centralizes at the top. So when you see, let me show you. So right here, when you see this photo, you you electric at the top, magnetic at the bottom. They spiral into each other and give you electromagneticity. You're an electromagnetic being off the rip because you're electric by birth. If you know, you know. So anxious thoughts of bad things happening will come true. If you keep putting it inside, you see the top of the donut? If you keep putting that type, anxiety, sadness, pain, depression, at the top, it'll spiral around your auric field or your biofield, and that's what'll come out at the bottom. And you see where it says at the bottom, one cycle equals frequency, and then it says one input and output equals vibration. One interval equals the distance between. So basically, one cycle around is your frequency, right? One input and one output is the vibration of your cells. This is how your cells work too. And when you have one interval, which is that distance in between that top spiral and that bottom spiral, where that hexagon shape is, right? That's the distance between your vibration and your frequency. So how you feel mixed with what you're saying, this is what comes out at the bottom. So I know I know. Hey, what's up, Right Way? It's great to see y'all. So this is the easiest way to feel to learn more about yourself. What you put inside of yourself is what comes out of yourself. And that goes for your cells, that goes for people, what you read, the stuff you listening to, your environment, how you work, your career. This is your whole existence. And you learning about this so you can grow. And when you grow, this will start happening. This will move faster. As this helix moves faster, this starts to happen. You start to unlock more of your light. You know how you hear people talk about light codes? These light codes sit in your DNA structure. Wow. That's where your light codes sit. You know how people say, I'm getting a download. It's already inside of you. You're really getting an upload because it's already sitting inside of you. So this is how, this is your cosmic memory card. One of your strands of DNA, like the one in the back, is your regular DNA. One right here is what they call junk. Whenever you take in sunlight goes into your body and it turns this around in a circle like a spiral formation, and that data starts to unlock, right? So as that unlocks inside of yourself, you become more aware of yourself. And as you become more aware of yourself, you start to move to a higher dimension. The dimensions, you're in all of them at the same time, and you're tuning in to yourself so you can become more aware of yourself, even though you're part of a whole. Right? Does that make sense? I know that's a lot to take in, but it's easy to help people with illustrations and pictures because a lot of people are visual people, right? So this photo right here, So this is your heart. I just took this from like a little comic, but basically your heart emits a field around the heart. So this field is 15 times stronger than the one that comes from your forehead, your brain. When they tell you to follow your heart, there's a field that's around your heart, just like this. And when you follow that, it leads you to the path that's closest to your higher self. Your higher self, one of your higher selves, because you got multiple higher selves too. Most people think you just only have one higher self or one power, but you're layered like this. And there's multiple versions of these too. So think of this as like one bubble, and there's 30 different bubbles. The decisions you make every day will change your bubble over. So let me show you. It's like this. So these are your decisions and your choices you make every day. So even though they look the same, they have slight variances, right? So let's say you all the way to the left side of this, right? You all the way, you decide to make a choice, right? That choice is connected to two other choices. That choice is connected. It's like a giant spider web. So every decision you make every day will put you on a new square. This is how you shift reality so fast. Every day you meditate, right? Let's say you chose, I'm gonna meditate, I'm gonna do this. You move your level to a new level up inside of yourself. Let's say, well, I don't want to do this. You move your level to a new level up inside of yourself. Let's say, well, I don't want to do this today. Boom, boom. Now you're going to another path. You see how all the paths are connected? You slightly change reality every moment you exist, because everything is constantly moving in this. That's your DNA, but everything is constantly moving. So when you become more aware of this, it allows you to manipulate reality easier. So let me show you another. When you see symbols like this, whenever you see that, those these types of sacred geometry symbols are other ways of reflections. So some of you, when you were growing up, you would draw circles, you would draw squares, you would draw triangles, right? You would draw the little S symbols, you would draw all these different symbols, and these symbols are related to your life. Some of you may be alchemists, is what it's called, alchemy. So alchemy, is the art of transmutation. You can transmute stuff. So if you had certain symbols, you know how you see people with the pentagram and stuff like that? That's your old knowledge that they made. They'll call it occult or devil stuff. But that's really your old knowledge that you would use in order to do different things. And it's just a medium of exchange. So what I mean is, like, let me get up off this bed. What I mean is, like, you would use these different shapes in your body and stuff. You use these different shapes to do different stuff. So let's say you're doing magic, right? You ever seen Doctor Strange when he goes like this and a circle comes up? You would tap into the universe by using those shapes. So you would do, all right, turn something, boom, draw a circle, square with a triangle, push it, and that would be your activation, quotations. So it's like a medium. So you ever do a ritual, or you talk to people who do altars and stuff like that? That's a medium. So you're using 2 or 3 different things to call out to a certain energy. So you see how the Haitian culture, Jamaican culture, Caribbean culture, they do different things. They'll call out to you're calling out to certain energies to come to you.
And it's just like your manifestations. That's like, it don't matter what your manifestation is. It's your intention of how you projecting the energy that works. And you use mediums. So some people use, hold on, I think I still got them. I'm looking for this thing I use. Hold on. I'm looking for them. Hold on just a second. I know I had them. Oh, here we go. There's a, like this. This is a crystal healing pyramid, right? So this plays a certain type of frequency, right? This is a medium in order to tune in to your frequency. So if I put the intention of something and then use this and I focus my cells to listen, your cells are like ears that never turn off. And if you use the right frequency to tune into your cells, you can issue commands to your cells. That's why sound is so important. Sound and frequency. That's why they do frequency attacks on people and do all that. So let me show y'all something. So I have this thing right here. Right? Y'all see that? This is a sacred geometry shape used to create vortexes. So most people have seen me use this with the crown. When you see this, I can shoot frequencies outside. So you notice how when you were growing up, you would see the kings and the queens and the pharaohs. They would have wands and staffs, right? They would have wands and staffs that they would hold. The bottom portion of the staff would be inside the earth. The earth is magnetic. So when you have this at the bottom and you have this at the top, depending on what the staff look like, this actually works too, by the way. This is attached to a TENS unit. If you've never seen me use this, it helps to stimulate your cells. So when you would see the kings and the queens and the pharaohs have these staffs, they would use this to start moving stuff. That's one of the ways they could move pyramid blocks, because pyramid blocks radiate at certain frequencies. So when you see them having these, and the earth is electromagnetic, and you're by pyramids, which are electromagnetic, all the pyramids are on something called ley lines, which are magnetic high energy points. So if I wanted to move a pyramid block, I could put this in the ground, put my other hand up. Since you were electric, you would be the medium, and your feet would be bare on the ground, grounding yourself, so you would complete a circuit. So you could use your other hand or the staff itself to move stuff. That's why with that wand I have, you can move frequencies through that wand. So the reason why that's so important and people think it's like cosplay is because that leads to free energy and levitation technology. Imagine levitating blocks with gloves on. You don't have to be strong at all to pick up one of them giant ass pyramid blocks. You could just put on a set of gloves or just move your hands and stuff would move. That's why I show people this type of stuff, because this technology is old stuff. We already have it. They just don't want you to realize you got it, because when you do, the whole world gonna change. Free energy by itself. If we had free energy, everybody could eat. There wouldn't be no need for homeless. You wouldn't have no homeless people no more. You wouldn't need no corporations at all, right? I have a video on my page right now of a creator using a Tesla coil. It's like a version of a Tesla coil. There's nothing around him. He could take a light bulb and put it right above it and gather it and have it. He had a whole light that wasn't like a Bluetooth light or nothing. He put it right over the area and the light turned on. It's on my page. You can go look at, you'll see a green looking tube. That's a Tesla coil. That's why they knocked Tesla's coil down. Chase, JP Morgan Chase, they knocked it down because you could provide energy for everybody. And they had a plan to charge everybody for that shit. Dr. Parkenstein, he made his own version of a Tesla coil. The Tesla coil been around since the 1900s. It was made in like 1898. So all that stuff, let me show y'all something. So there's this book called The One World Tartarians. Some people say it's fiction, some people say it's real. Let me show y'all something. I'm gonna put it in the light so you can see. Let me show y'all something. So it's called The One World Tartarians, right? We're gonna go and show you something. Right? Mud floods, Great Reset, 1811 to 1812. Right? Energy star forts, flat Earth Tartarians, healing centers. Right? They used to have places you could heal yourself, right? Let's go to that right there, page 97. Let's go to that page right now. Show y'all something. I know I'm talking about a lot of different subjects, but all this stuff ties into you. Okay, here we go. So first off, these are called star forts. Cities used to be built like this, and they still have cities to this day built like this. These are cymatic cities, right? Cymatic cities to generate energy. You don't see cities built like this no more. You see them built in squares. Squares trap energy, right? Show y'all something. Sacred geometry shapes, right? You see these in the stained glasses of churches, right? You see layouts like this. These generate energy. That's why you see the Pentagon shaped like a pentagon, because it generate energy. That's why you see the Vatican shaped like the power button on your phone. That's why you see certain places, because they used to generate energy. This is a cathedral. Shit. Oh yeah, here we go. So you see, let me get up. You see these shapes? These shapes, the glass was added later. The stained glass was added later. Okay? They used to be open like this. So when you see this, these shapes generate energy. Right? Like the flower of life. You see that right there? They generate energy. If you look at the cathedrals, these are conductors. So the pieces inside of those giant places are conductors. Right? The top parts of cathedrals. The top parts of cathedrals at the top are what's called cathodes. Right? They would have anodes built on the inside of them. When you have a plus and a minus sign, like on a battery, you generate a charge. So let's say you had a building like this, right? You had a building like this with the antennas at the top, okay? And then you're sitting on a building. You're sitting on a building that has sacred geometry shapes that generate energy, right? So they generate energy in the little towers, right? Because churches used to be healing centers. If y'all don't know, some of the way the churches are laid out, they used to have rooms. You would sit in the room, they would play a certain frequency, it would vibrate in a spiral formation because of how the room was made, and it would change your structure. Like, you know those big Liberty Bells? Those are the original med beds. You could stand inside of a bell, boom, it would vibrate your whole cellular structure would change just by standing in one of them. That's why That's one of the reasons why they destroyed it. Let me show y'all something. So if you look here, you see the inside of cathedrals always look like sacred geometry patterns because of the architecture and the structure they used to have. Okay, you see, these weren't created. You see that right there, right? This is cathedral patterns. Now watch this. What does that look like? What is this? You see that, right? What does that look like? Matter of fact, since I'm in this book, let me show y'all something. This is called The One World Tartarians. If you've never, by James W. Lee. It's fiction, quotations. It's not. It's your old history. I highly recommend you get this book. Let me show y'all something. Free Travel Anywhere. Page 169. Just show you this. Hold on, let's go over here. Yep. This is it right here. So let me do it like this so y'all can see. So y'all see these, right? Remember when I told y'all that some of those pyramids used to fly? They used to be called vimanas. So vimanas are flying airships. There's a plant. So you see how you see some of those temples? Pyramids do the same thing too. So you see some of these temples around the world are decommissioned ships. See what I'm saying? They used to fly. That's why you see these in history. Y'all ever seen these hieroglyphs? It's because technology has been in our existence since Atlantean times. You don't believe me? Hold on. Let me show you this page. This is called a compressed air train. Right? You don't need no coal or logs. Right? That was created in 1855. As you can see, compressed air. Air trains. You don't need coal or logs. Right? Hold on. 1895. Right? Watch this. They had a car that ran on air. I just want y'all to see what this says right here. Compressed air. A compressed air motor. Compressed air. If y'all don't believe me, here's the schematics. Compressed air. We could drive on air. We don't even need gas. This is what I be trying to tell people. Technology is so old. We could be on some next level shit already. When people be like, oh man, this new thing ain't nothing new. Y'all want to see AI? Hold on, let me show you robots. Hold on. We gonna turn back around. Hold on. All right, let's see. Insane asylums to hide. Let's see, insane asylums. I just want y'all to read that. I ain't gonna say nothing. Let's move up. Let's see, robots. Let's see. Robots. It's on this page. It's pretty close. Hold on. Okay, let me see. Oh, here we go. Robots of 1883. Oh, it's on that page we were on. Let's go back. Let's see. Should be pretty close. Hold up. Robots
Oh, here we go. 1883. They had robots. They used to be on carriages. They even had a boxing match with a robot dog. They had a whole boxing match with robots, dog. When I was telling people about them having Gundams back then, right? These are old photos. This is an old look. Type. This is an old look. Type shit. They used to have robots that would pull carriages, dog. 1883. 1883. So y'all seeing these Tesla robots? That ain't nothing new. Y'all seeing hybrid cars? That ain't nothing new. Just look at the beacons from Minecraft. It's called the One World Tartarians. It's all a mind game. That's all this is. It's a mind game. It's all a mind game, bro. This shit is done. We could teleport right now if y'all don't know that. We have teleportation technology. But if we had teleportation technology come out, no more airports, no more cars. How big of a business is that? That's the book is called, I'm gonna show you. Take a screenshot of the video. It's called The One World Tartarians. And that's Tartaria, where Russia used to be. But it also used to be the world too. That's the map. You can go look this up at Yandex, Yandex.com, and type in Tartarian maps. All the great resets you've ever seen, they reset you when you get closer to the truth. Like now, all these floods, people having mud floods, all these things happening to the world, when you get closer and closer to the truth, that's when they history's just repeating itself over and over again. That's why you just gotta focus on you, what you can control, and doing you. Mental hospitals? Yeah, I got you. You want to look up mental hospitals? Bet. We're gonna look up insane. You know why they made insane asylums for some states? To get rid of people who were from Tartaria. Let's go. Hold on. Let's go. Let's go. Hold on. Right here. Let's see. Let's go to the where it is. Here we go. Insane asylums of the 19th century. Let's see. Worldwide asylums. Why would the worldwide asylums? 19th century. 267. Boom. Let's go ahead and. Okay. The overall question is, did the NWO and that take over Tartarian buildings and then use them to adios people of Tartary around the world after committing them to converted insane asylums? Wow. In London, England, the Priory of St. Mary of Bethlehem, which later became known as Bedlam, notoriously as Bedlam, was founded in 1247. In Spain, other such institutions for insane asylums, the same were established after the Christian Reconquista. Facilities included hospitals in Valencia, 1407,
Zaragoza 1425, Seville 1436, Barcelona, Toledo. In Britain, at the beginning of the 19th century, there were perhaps a few thousand lunatics housed in a variety of desperate institutions. But by the beginning of the 20th century, that figure had grown to about 100,000. Let me show you something. So, when you see some of these insane asylums that was started, right? This is a Bethlehem Royal Hospital in Britain, 1676. That looks like a giant Tartarian building. Here's another one. Ipswich Hospital, 1878. Why would you need a hospital that big? It's almost like it's a Tartarian building they needed to cover up. So they put something else in it, right? Now, let me show y'all something that's pretty interesting. So, let me ask you a question. How many buildings do you see that has the words founded on it? Founded. They literally found it. That's why they put it. They found it. It was already created. Your Capitol buildings in majority of your cities. They telling you we found that shit. You know, colonization tactics. Another thing you can see, your universities, right? You have your universities and colleges, right? Some of those used to be old Tartarian castles in America. Some of your jails that you see, they used to be old Tartarian castles. That's why they house so many of the same type of people in those as well. Y'all think that's a coincidence? I'm just trying to tell y'all, bro. I'm just trying to tell y'all, bro. Y'all just gotta be, y'all just be aware. You know how people talk about time travel? That book was published a while ago. They replaced gold with the dollar. My dad was born in 1943. He told me he watched the guy with the water-powered car. They made the water-powered car like 20 times. Ford made a hemp-powered car in 1942. Yandex, YANDEX.com. Type in old world structures. Matter of fact, you can go to Google right now. Type in Great Fire in your state. In all of your states, there was some kind of great fire. There was over 200 great fires. What are they hiding? Over 200 between 1811 and like the 1920s. 200 fires across the states. What you hiding, baby? What you hiding, Jack? I've been in the Arkansas State Hospital several times. So, look, I'm just telling you, it's a reference tool. Use it how you want to. It's just for you to see. All this stuff that you've been seeing is just repeats over and over again. Right? When you get closer and closer to the truth, great reset. Great reset. No more great resets. Let's turn that shit off. The crazy, because everyone wants me to be converted. Some of those people that you see that go to those, that went to insane asylums, were descendants of Tartarians. Some of those buildings you see that says founded were already created. Your universities, your colleges, some of those jails too. Matter of fact, you can go to Google and type in castles of, and then put your state. Castles of your state. Like what? I'm just trying to tell y'all, bro. It get to a point to where when you start becoming more observant, all this stuff is just repeating. Just be careful. Even the high schools look like old castles. I still see burnt buildings, especially downtown, because they build over cities. Y'all ever seen Futurama? New York, when they built over, that's all it is. That's why we still have underground tunnels. That's why we still have underground cities. It's because they just built over civilization, hiding what was already here. Colorado is 1863, yeah. Ain't no more hiding no more. All this has to come out so y'all can see that all this stuff we've been doing is to keep you in a slave mind state. All the shit we've been doing is just to keep you a slave. That's why they are fighting for you, Crane. It's the Great Tartaria. If you know, you know. This is the last reset, bro. So right now we're going through a transition phase where we're getting all our old technology back. We're getting harmonic resonance so we can heal our bodies with sound, right? We're elevating society to a new level. So we'll get to a point where we're like other civilizations. So there's other, what we call extraterrestrial. Extra means more of, right? Terra means earth. Extra more of earth beings? Extra beings on earth? Hold on, let me show you. Extra beings on earth. Where would they be? Where would they be? I wonder where they would be at. I don't know. Tartarian is another civilization. You know how we talk about the Roman Empire? Think of them as like their own version of a civilization that was thriving with old technology. All the stuff you see is old stuff, right? Some of the civilizations raise their vibration up to new levels. So when you collectively raise the vibration, you see new stuff. So you ever heard of the civilization of Roanoke in school, where the whole civilization disappeared? They elevated in frequency. Their civilization got to a level where they raised up, and when they raised up, where did they go? To a new level. All of this is you. All of this is you. But collectively too, all of this is us too. So when we raise our vibration, we go to see new awareness as a whole civilization. They're trying to keep us on these lower areas down here. Because, you only see this level right here where it says earthly realm. That's where they want to keep us, right? That's why they keep pumping out fear, sadness, pain, grief, money, and all that. And some of those higher civilizations, they don't even have money. They don't have the concept of money. They don't have the concept of people starving. That's why certain extraterrestrials look at us like, how come y'all don't just help people eat? Or help people. That's why other extraterrestrials look and like, damn, why y'all suffering with each other? That's crazy. And they all cohesive and doing stuff and helping folks out. That's why they say humans are savage. That's why they say every time you give them something, they turn it into some kind of weapon or destruction. That's why a lot of beings just was like, you know what? Let's just put them in their own area over there. And when people fuck up, they got to go in a human body and fuck up over there. You get what I'm saying? That's why they don't. But right now, we're going through a transitional phase so we can see the other beings. They already there. They see us as energy. They don't see you like in this human form. They see your energy, right? And as AI, AI is a divination tool. Just think of it as like divination tool, like how you use dowsing rods. Same concept. It's telling you so you can wake up more, so you can help accelerate the process, right? So let me show y'all something. Right now, as a unit, this is where we at. This is us right here. All of you in this live, everybody who legit is one of these lines on the grid. We're going through an elevation process where we're moving up. This is moving faster. This is why time is passing by faster. So what we're trying to do is move to a version where we can be cohesive with the universe and stop being destructive. But there's beings on here that thrive off your energy. So you look like this. They thrive off your stuff, right? This is you. They thrive off your stuff. This is you. You emit so much energy, you project images. Some of these beings feed off with this stuff right here. So as you be at peace with yourself, you breathe, you love yourself, you start to elevate to where you start to see these colors consistently, right? You seen how in certain skies around the world, they started turning to these colors? It's because you're seeing what the real universe look like. Imagine this all the time. Imagine this, you seeing this type of stuff all the time. We as a unit are deciding to move into that type of reality. But we have to get rid of some of this extra shit so we can see the other shit. Like the animals, the new animals you're seeing is because we're raising in that vibration. They already exist. It's just like every great reset. When a great reset happened, part of civilization would elevate. When you elevate, things that are lower than your frequency, you don't see no more, right? So if you raise your frequency or your vibration up, the things that don't coincide with that circular field I showed you, they get repelled away. You get what I'm saying? It gets pushed away. So some people won't even see you no more, right? Let me ask you a question. How many of you still talk to the same people you talked to 10 years ago, 5 years ago, a year ago? It's because you're naturally repelling away from that type of shit. The battleground. This is the battleground for the timeline. Right here. Boom. Shout out to Ethera. When people talk about that spiritual battle, it's deciding where we going next. So if you on that peace, love, happiness, cooperative, doing that type of stuff, then you moving up. If you on that, all we got to do is we got to be all this selfish. But it's you expressing yourself. But as a whole, we're expressing the consciousness together. Does that make sense? And there's beings that come here to help the process so we can make a smoother transition. No disease no more. Number one, imagine never having pain in anything in your body again. If you won't age, you won't age. So right now we're in the process of moving from what we used to. They want to keep us in those lower levels because they exist in the lower levels. But as you raise up, they don't exist no more because their vibration can't keep up. That's why they keep telling you raise your vibration. Your Taurus field is moving faster. And that one inside of you. So this field, hold on. This field you see right here is moving faster. As this is moving faster. And as this is moving faster, guess what happens? That moves faster, what happens? Wow. This is where the X-Men stuff comes from. You have a gene inside of your DNA that goes through mutation. So you can reach your higher light body, crystalline light self, which is this being right here. This is your light body. This is all the experiences you have, your emotions, the people you meet, right? We're trying to, as a collective, so imagine this is Earth and each of us is aligned. We're trying to raise this whole thing up so we can see the other stuff. But if we keep doing the same bull, keep doing the same baloney, then we gonna stay here so they can keep feeding off your energy. This is the lowest level of heaven, highest level of hell, quotations, but it's polarities of energy. You get what I'm saying? So it's up to you. Right now you have that. You remember in school you would draw the 3 circles, the one on the left, the one on the right, and the one in the middle. Right now you in the middle, and you deciding which side of polarity you trying to be on. You move through both all the time, but you learning how to use your energy to decide where you want to put your energy. That's one of the reasons why you here right now. is to like learn to mold, learn to create and use your energy in a way of your expression. We are literally glowing if you can see our true form. Yeah, we shine like this. We shine, look, we shine just like this. This how your soul look. Like different layers. Just like this. That's how some of y'all souls look. The temperature gets colder in moonlight and it's warmer in sunlight and shade at night. As you go in higher realms and higher vibrations, it gets hotter. It gets hotter. If you go lower in vibration, it gets colder. So it's crazy though. We've had winter here, but we had 2 suns here that made this a tropical realm. So when you bring cold to a certain place, what happens to the realm? Does that make sense? You open in this so you can see. That's why they tell you to open this up. Some people, some religions, some cultures will demonize this because it allows you to see more than just this. That's why people tell you everything is spiritual first and then physical. This that you in right now, this right here, this your dream state. This your dream. When you go to sleep, that's the real world. So some of y'all are in the process of moving your energy so you can get ready to see, you get to see more. You know what I'm saying? It's just like when people think when you die, you see the spiritual realm. The spiritual realm is already around you. You don't have to die to see it. You get what I'm saying? It's just, this is a compression of your energy so you can experience. You get what I'm saying? That's why you're learning about all this stuff right now. Your energy never die. Your energy got an infinity symbol on it. Energy can't be transferred or destroyed. It can only be transmuted. It can be recycled. That's it. Transmuted, recycled, and placed in other place. Some of y'all might be leaving. However, your consciousness produces in your reality, because you're an expression of consciousness, that's what you're going to see. If you see ships coming to get you, that's going to be your expression. If you see yourself just evolving where you at, that's what you're going to see. It's what you create in your reality. There's ships out there, but you have a whole spaceship sitting right here. It's called your Merkaba or Merkaba. It's sitting right here. It's a pyramid inside of a pyramid that spins around. When you do astral projection, when you do remote viewing, telekinesis, any of those, it starts spinning like this on the inside. All this is, I'm just saying, all this is inside of you. Some of you are on different levels because of your journey, and your higher selves have stuff set up for you in your way to help you in your journey. So you can recognize this and move and get to where you need to get. How are you saying they've been it says, bro, how are you saying everything they've been telling me lately? It's because when you start to tune in, you'll realize we're connected like internet to each other. So if this middle piece is Earth, we're connected like internet to each other. And that internet is called telepathy. That's what it, imagine having a group chat with everybody. And you can tune in to the people you want to tune into. That's where we're developing into. You get what I'm saying? That's why, man, such and such is going to call me today. I was just talking about this person and you're turning that back on. It's been asleep for 1,000 years. Now you're turning it back on. So it feels different. A Venn diagram. It's called a Vesica Piscis, or a Venn diagram. You learned that. Oh yeah. So does Astral Blue ring any bells? I'm not sure about Astral Blue. There's different terms for stuff, but the more you practice, the higher you develop. This is just for opening more of yourself so you can learn. Some people are like in a transition phase, right?
you're in the daze right now and you're trying to get out of that hypnotic state. So I'm just helping y'all. It's late. Channeling is when you tune in to somebody, to another being's group chat. Like you open yourself up for a group chat with another being. And the being, you give permission for that being to speak through you. Since you're an antenna, it's like somebody connecting to your Bluetooth so they can talk through you. Anyway, it's late here. It's all this is just, I'm just giving you a basic guideline so you can see this type of stuff. This is the stuff people are trying to tell you about, that you can telepathy is Bluetooth, yeah, but this is the type of stuff you using so you can learn and experience. So that's why you take some of this stuff as just a reference tool and you explore your own consciousness. You explore your own consciousness, you be in your authentic energy, you express yourself, and you get to see this type of stuff. But you have to do the work for yourself. Whatever your journey may be, you have to do that for yourself. I can't tell you. Some beings may try to come with you, but everybody's path is different. So raising your vibration is just being in your authentic energy, right? Express yourself how you want to and create. That's really what it is. If I got a YouTube too, y'all. My YouTube is VIA Energy Healing, same as my profile here. You can check out stuff. I got a Telegram, free frequencies. I have 1,100 frequencies. We have 800 free ebooks on Telegram. If you don't know what that is, it's another type of app. It's all free. You go to my YouTube. I have a bunch of solfeggio frequencies that'll help you elevate yourself. Your heart is your CPU, basically. And you trying to make sure your CPU is running okay. You can check out all that stuff. So you just do what's best for you. I'm going to your YouTube after this. Yeah, no worries. Just do you. That's why all this other extra stuff outside of you, it don't even matter. Nothing matters until you make it matter. So just focus on what you can control. My Telegram is on my YouTube. If you go to where the links pages are, the home page, click on the about or the more section, and it'll have all my links. So I have other links on there too. So they're all free. So it's just to help you in the process. You still do work for yourself. It's just I'm giving you like just some reference tools so you can do what you do. You have all the answers inside. You got a etheric Google sitting inside of you. You just ask yourself questions. That's all. Because no matter how much somebody tell you, your refraction is created and your consciousness is created to express itself how it's supposed to be expressed. So think of a mirror, right? You throw a brick at a mirror, all the pieces shatter, right? Each some are bigger, some are smaller, thinner or thicker. No matter what, it's still a mirror. So we're all the mirror. It's a lonely walk sometimes too, but it's a part of the process. But anyway, I gotta rest. I gotta go train in the rising. I gotta get some training done. So do what you need to do for you, your expression. Relax, breathe, meditate, walk around the grass. That's gonna help you. I got a bunch of videos on it. Check out the videos. Check out my YouTube. I'm finna rest. I'm finna go to the real world and go talk to my people over there. I gotta go say hello to my folks. Y'all have fun. Also, real quick, if y'all want some vivid dreams, get you some black seed oil, and get you some soursop bitters. If you want some real dreams, soursop bitters, black seed oil. Take it right before you go to bed. You gonna see some shit, bro. I know I have. Anyway, I'm finna head off. I love y'all. Y'all go follow my YouTube real quick. Oh, real quick. If y'all want to show support too, I got this little poll right here with ways to show
Support if you want to. You don't have to, but if you want to, you can show support via that way. But hope you enjoyed the live. I got more lives on my YouTube to check out. Excuse me. Explore, experience, go have fun, talk to your inner child. That's gonna lead you to your place. Your inner child will get you to where you need to be. Heal that inner child too. Heal that inner child. But anyway, I'm heading out, y'all. Love y'all. See y'all soon.